Hey guys, I'm Ted, here to give you another fast fact, and for this fast fact, we will look at the Populist Party. Now, the Populist Party officially was organized in Omaha, Nebraska back in 1892, and Ignatius Donnelly, a populist from Minnesota, actually wrote the party's first platform, and this platform was quite revolutionary in many ways. Donnelly brought up this immense sense of victimization that the farmers held. And farmers were the backbone, the farmers were the driving force of the populists. Populism was really going to serve at the greatest and the last of this really progressive, sort of reform-driven agrarian movement. It had deep roots in agrarianism. And these farmers were really feeling victimized by the rate of industrialization, the shift from a rural to a very urban society in the United States. They were feeling the sting of losing their social standing, their social place in the republic. And this platform called for one, the direct election of federal senators. Up until now, state legislators had selected federal senators. This had been a major sticking point during the Constitutional Convention back in 1787, and it was something that simply carried over and stayed with the Republic through the first administration, through really all throughout the 19th century. But here, the populists were calling for the direct election of U.S. senators, of federal senators, by the public. They called for radically. They called for the nationalization of not just the railroad companies, but the telephone company and the telegraph company, hinting at a bit of socialism there, or at least what we would call. What would be viewed negatively as like communism. They also called for the implementation of a sub-treasury plan. Now, the sub-treasury plan, well, the plan came up by a man named McCune. McCune was from Texas. He was a populist from Texas. And he had come up with this plan in which, in order to bypass the predatory rates of the railroads and the grain elevators, the federal government would construct warehouses, and it would store and warehouse grain for the farmers, and the farmers would be able to borrow against the fiscal worth, the monetary worth, the value of said grain, to help pay off their debts and to help them sort of survive while their grain was stored, has prices sort of normalized on the domestic and the world market. The party platform called for a bimetalist policy. Prior to 1873, the United States had a bimetalist policy. You would be issued silver and gold coins at certain values. In 1873, that all changed. They wanted to return to the bimetalist policy. And they wanted a large number of paper money to be printed out based on the availability of silver coins. They wanted to create an inflationary condition to sort of enable them to pay off their mounting debts even faster. And they also called for a graduated income to allow the republic to better assess and collect taxes. In addition to trying to woo and thus form an alliance with industrial workers, they call for two points that industrial workers have been fighting for. One was a ban on immigration, and two was the adoption, making mandatory an 8-hour workday. Industrial workers, from factory workers to miners, had all been lobbying for an 8-hour workday. and they pushed for it. They called for it. Nothing short of revolutionary. One of the more forward-thinking and reform-minded pieces of literature in the Republic's history. And that was their opening platform back in 1892 when the party first formed. And that'll do it for our look at the Populist, at least their party platform, their first party platform. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought about this lecture. Let me know what you thought about the Federalist, not the Federalist, the Populist. Sorry about that. Let me know what you think about the Populist and their platform. And as always, I'm Ted. Hit like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys next time for another Fast Fact.